And we're back. Hi, I'm Tanjint the Wiggy Woo.
I'm Jack, aka The Thought. What's up,
And
y'all?
hey, and this is Tapped In with Tanjint, episode 2. I think we're going to get this a little more streamlined each time. Shout out to Productive Culture and Untapped Hip Hop for powering these episodes of Tapped In with Tanjint.
Woo!
And let's get right into it. Maestro JMKM, let's fire up our first video. Oh, he went right in.
Doing all that bullshit, what you here for? Moving on to bigger plans, yeah. Cause I can't be out fucking with you lames no more. No more, no more, yeah. I told her pull up in the back, let's roll, yeah. Let's roll, let's go, yeah. You remember that moment when you finally noticed you had purpose to get it? Like the sky finally opened. This that game coming soaking. That MJ level focus. Get the gang out the hood. Get mama out of that focus. Used to take her whip, take her to work, turn back and take my niece to school. They just stole my Acura.
Oh, I see Nicholas with the cameo.
Oh, yeah.
They were worth more than a win. No pad like my pot of gold. What else gonna get me rich? You may say I'm lost. I say I know what I want. Cubicle is like a coffin to me. I ain't finna front. If I never learn the ball, I won't ever get that dunk. So a nigga around some stoners more productive. Let's be blunt. Fucking up. Yes, I have been.
Oh man. So I mean, I definitely saw that video when it came out early summer of last year. But what was something that stood out about it that made you? This was one of your suggestions when I was soliciting suggestions from you. What are some things that stick out to you about it, or what did it made it stand out?
Well, I mean, it's Cam Archer.
Right.
I mean,
and it's probably one of his
don't
most
play with
recent
man's names.
Yeah, that's true. The arquero.
Yeah, he's one of just like the most consistently impressive rappers out of the IE in my book. And
Yeah.
I love that video for having like a vaguely Office Space vibe. There might be like a specific reference he's making with it that I'm just not privy to, but I really like the video.
I feel like what the video is getting at is like, because in the beginning it's like high beams, my dreams, na, 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 and like my dream, like we're trapped in these office settings while we're dreaming of our art and dreaming of.
Oh yeah, I get that. I just meant I think it might be a visual homage to something.
The Office, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. There's I'm being told by an insider that that it is a reference to The Office, which I didn't think it wasn't how do I put it? I guess I just thought it was more of like the contrast between our dreams and our workaday life. And I thought it was also like almost like a reference to like real life shit, like a bunch of people, working class people in the IE who have had to do office shit, had to do sales, had to do sit in seminars with a boring, office manager and stuff like that. Meanwhile, you're dreaming of partying with these girls, you're dreaming of going and doing your music and stuff like that. And yeah, I love that the humorous tone that they have throughout the video. And it's what's the other one? There's a few songs that Archer has with Oh Gosh that to me feel like they kept evolving until this song got created. Like I feel like this is like the third or fourth draft of a song that they've made before, but I mean that in a good way because each time it really is dope. And the other thing with him is like, I remember as recently as like 2017, Archer, in my recollection, when I listened to his shit, didn't really sing that much on his work, and I feel like since 17, like from 18 on, like he's made really good use of his singing, which, I mean, I'm an old nerd of him and his crew in the sense of I've listened to like the first 100 episodes of the Midnight Run podcast, and I've heard him singing, like just like singing R&B shit that he refers to, like he talks about it. And he does that even more so on his new podcast on Do the Wrong Thing. He'll just start singing phrases from stuff, and he's really good at singing. And it's weird because I even from talking to him back in 2017, he wasn't as that confident in his singing, but he's really good at it. And so being confident about your singing while being that good of a rapper, while having these good of producers and videographers, it's a pretty lethal fucking combination. And I guess it is one of his standout video because to me it's like everything you were saying, like, oh, he's one of the dopest rappers, and I'm like, yeah, for sure, but like, what about this video? But I guess this is one of the most well produced videos.
Oh yeah, and I just in particular, I really enjoy this song, and
I do too. It's
some
one
of
of his
my
best videos.
some of my favorite joints from him are still off of like what's it called, Inside Voices? Yeah, Inside Voices, and then I really like the No Apologies project he did with Oh Gosh, and I off the top of my head, I wasn't sure if there was any videos for some of my favorites off of either of those projects. So, and
right.
for lack of any of those other videos, this is definitely like the
One of the
one
ones
that
that came
like,
to mind.
yeah. And also it's like one of the more recent ones, and I feel like that's part of what we're trying to do is cover more recent material.
It is one of his more recent videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
And audience, I assure you, I think we'll get to a real-time point, but as we start these episodes, we're kind of pulling stuff from the last year or so that we like, and trying to do the latter half of the year, but we're doing our best. And but what was it? And as far as Archer projects, Jesus, I mean, I could go on about those, and I have at length in articles I've written. But I'll say that the song FOMO on No Apologies is like one of my favorite songs that anyone that I know has made, and one of my favorite rap songs, period. It's like that song helped me through a rough period.
Oh yeah, FOMO is crazy. I had to like double check that it was the last track on the project, but yeah, I remember like every time I bumped that project, that last song, I'm like, fuck.
It makes me fucking cry, to be honest. I've actually, I'll say this, and then we'll wrap up on the Archer topic. I've messaged this fool at like 6:30 in the morning because I was crying to FOMO, like, bro, and so I'm really lucky that he's not more annoyed with me than he might be. And what was it? So moving on, we'll talk briefly on this. Oh, yeah. What is it? Let's give a quick acknowledgement to the producer of that song, Oh Gosh Leotis, Archer's common counterpart.
God.
Yeah. Oh Gosh is fucking incredible, and yeah, that's a great beat.
I
believe A. Devon Johnson did advance the video. I'm looking for confirmation to my right eye, but no. But yeah, I believe Antonio did that video, and he's great too, and he's also on the Do the Wrong Thing podcast with Archer, and it's great. Okay, JM and Maestros, could we get the album art for the Homegirl Moni, the Galaxy? I'll just talk about this briefly. We're going to work out how we do this as far as, I want to actually be a podcast, a show that does follow up when we say we're going to follow up. Last week, we talked about Homegirl Moni's video, Everything I Want, and we had a really interesting discussion about it. And so I wanted to go back and listen to her record, and it's about 9 songs and 20-something minutes, 8 songs, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot, really West Coasty. I thought there was some moments of kind of like newer kind of shit, and there's some moments of like totally like late 90s style West Coast funky, party songs. I thought there was even some of the stuff she does, like I appreciate like like there's a battle rapper tropes that she uses, right? Like battle rappers will do that thing where they just change one syllable of a phrase and it changes the whole meaning, and they're doing it in a funny, overextended, like over articulated way, And I think that it's, for me, and that's actually something that's common of a lot of post um who has helped integrate that into rap is Eminem in The Game, and then their children, musically, like to get really deep about the last 20 years of music. I feel like we've heard those battle rap tropes leak into hip hop more, and then also into this kind of new wave of like sexual empowerment rap, that we have with like the Meg Thee Stallions and the Cardi B's and people like Homegirl Money, who I think is kind of a version of that, but from SoCal and from Latinos, and so I dig that shit, even though it's not how I would write something, and then what was it? And then there's some stuff that's catchy on there. Like she has "You Scared Though," that's a song talking to a man about, you wanted a girl, but you're scared to open up, and you wanted a girl, but you're scared of my vivacious sexuality. And so, I appreciate a lot of what she did. I enjoyed the album. And what was it? But go right ahead. Well, what was it? I mean, we touched on it, last week as far as our different thoughts on Moni. But I wanted to follow up, give a shout out to her album, The Galaxy, Homegirl Moni. And, people can check that out. It's on Spotify and everything else. And actually, we probably should move right along because we don't have too much time left on this segment. And what was it? We're gonna try to be more streamlined now, folks. Belle the Wonder. We were talking about her last week too, because I went to her show a few weeks ago at the MTL. She packed the place out. She had Vic Jagger open for her. She had a drummer playing with her. She had a DJ playing with her. She had Weapons of Mass Creation playing with her. And it was a packed house. It was a madhouse. I've never seen the MTL that crazy or cracking. What was it? So I wanted to say, like, and you were saying that you thought Trophy Wife was a great project, and I was, I've never listened to her projects. I've opened for her. I played with her. I've listened to her music. I've been to her shows. I've heard a lot of features she's done with my friends.
I didn't realize that you'd never like actually peeped out any of her albums.
Whole projects. No, I could be dumb about that kind of shit sometimes. Sometimes it needs reasons.
Yeah, Trophy Wife is definitely like the first project that I had like listened all the way through from her. Like I'd been familiar with her mostly through, like, as you said, features and doing shows. Like I'd never opened for her, but I'd like been to shows where she was performing or headlining. And yeah, Trophy Wife really impressed me when I first heard it. And it was interesting to go back. I didn't get all the way to her first album, but I did listen to the two previous God, I keep drawing a blank on the name of the two. La Senna and Joyride. And the progression is really impressive. Like she's improved what she's doing immensely since she was working on Joyride. And just God bless whoever took over her engineering and her mixing and mastering process by the time she got to La Senna, and even more so with Trophy Wife, because Joyride is a rough listen on a mixing perspective. It is very harsh.
So I appreciated the journey from like some like more lo-fi style boom bap to the kind of more well-produced kind of thing that she does now. I wrote down some highlights, some of my favorite tracks from her albums. I really like. It's all pretty enjoyable, right? It's like it's sample heavy and R&B heavy boom bap, and she's doing a really like followable but still really wordy kind of boom bap rapping and stuff. So to me, it's all very pleasant. But it's the highlights to me really started hitting with Joyride. I like the song Backseat. I like the song Cavetti Place. The song Cavetti Place was taking me to some emotional places that I really appreciated. La Senna had a song called Frutas, where it was very vivid with sensory description, like,
Frutas is like definitely the standout on La Senna for me. And honestly, I'm surprised you had highlights off of Joyride. I had a hard time even getting through that project. I'm talking like I listen on monitors, and that project is just, the mix is almost like unbearable. Like it's really harsh on the ears. Like all of the S's are just as hard as you can get. And there's a lot of clips on it. It's just a different mixing process. It's just hard to listen to. So like I have a hard time like seeing past that kind of stuff as a listener.
I think that this is where I should disclose something that some close friends of mine know, and whoever listens, and I tell them, they don't think they don't think I'm serious. I only have like 87% of my hearing. Like when I was being born, like I was being choked by the umbilical cord and it cut off some shit. Like I'm not kidding. Like this is what I was told.
Shit.
You know, and so I think that might benefit me. You know, because I put on a big sound core speaker, like a Bluetooth speaker, next to my computer, as like so I could kind of do other stuff on the computer, and then I'll put the albums on like that. Or I mean, just depends. You know, sometimes I listen to shit in the car, but I mainly listen to that on a Bluetooth speaker, and I enjoyed it. But could tell the jump in mixing quality on Trophy Wife. You know, because
Yeah,
Trophy Wife,
I doubt you would hear much of what I'm talking about on
right,
like a Bluetooth speaker or
right,
like any kind of like little computer desktop speakers. Like
right,
it's more of like a something you'd hear bumping it in a car or listening on some like proper mixing
right.
monitors.
And so on La Cena, I liked Frutas, I liked Mr. Green, I liked Anonymous. Those ones stuck out to me. And Trophy Wife, man, the two songs. I mean, the Trophy Wife, the whole thing's really good, but the songs Uma, the Samurai, the intro one is like that's like her mural. It's like she's on some like Lupe shit on that
What?
one to me, like because like
What?
because she's going off on a long ass intro, and it's like, and she's going and she's laying
Mural
out.
is like 10 minutes, bro.
Yeah, well, for her 35-minute 10-song album, you know, I feel like this is
It's
like
a 3-minute intro.
more
Like
3? I don't know.
it's only 3
Maybe
minutes,
because
my
it's one
guy.
long verse. You know, but I dug the hell out of it. I thought she was barring out. I thought it had a different kind of feel to it than the kind of normal jazzy boom bap stuff that she would rap to. I like the song Mariposa from Trophy Wife a lot too. I thought she was painting a cool picture there. And then I'll say this briefly because probably should wrap up this segment about her overall growth, and I'll give you some minute to say something as well. That like, yeah, it goes from this kind of laid back, wordy, lazy, lackadaisical flow to a really transcendent kind of place where she's announcing, and it's like that's to me that journey. You know, it's like it starts like in a lazy but enjoyable way, and then it's like she finds a way to keep that kind of detachment while still increasing intensity by Trophy Wife that is really impressive, really good, just cool, just from a spoken word poet perspective, you know. And I think she does such a good job at talking about feminist themes, about themes of being an artist who's balancing a busy life, self development and self love. I love the song she did with Zay at the end of Trophy Wife, Got Me Like Me, you know. So I really like what she's doing. I like her growth. I like her direction. I'm happy to hear all her albums.
Yeah, yeah, and I can feel you on a lot of that. I definitely think a lot of the intensity that's on Trophy Wife was already present on La Cena. Like her delivery sounds almost like, to be quite frank, like almost identical on those projects to me. Like she's hitting like the same pitch and doing the same like stylistic performance of her vocals on both of those projects, especially with like the end of words and like the overall volume that she's rapping in. Um, but yeah, like I definitely think Trophy Wife is her strongest project, and I think I think it's interesting because I think Trophy Wife benefits from like something it also kind of suffers from, which is her like attempting to modernize her sound.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's some examples on the project that I think work out really well for her. Like she has a couple tracks, particularly I'm thinking like Finesse Hunter, where she is very clearly to my ear going for a Griselda type vibe with that production, especially
Mm-hmm.
on the second half of the track. And I think going Griselda on some of it, it almost comes off like a little pastiche, but
Mm-hmm.
I think she does it really well. And I think that that's like a standout. But at the same time, I think she really struggles with trap beats. I
Mm-hmm.
think she tends to do her exact same style without any kind of like switch up, really, for the most part, on the trap songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally think that those are the two like weakest tracks on the project where she's like trying to get on a like a hi-hat heavy joint like that, particularly that Ghostbuster track towards the end
Mm-hmm.
of the project, with Blimes and Gab on it. She gets like, if we're being real, she's getting washed by both Blimes and Gab in terms of pocket and riding the beat properly, because she kind of hits it like it's an 88 BPM boom bap beat when it's not,
Mm-hmm.
and doesn't vary up to match. And I just feel like that it's a double-edged sword of that modernizing of her sound. But on an overall, I think the beats sound better across the board, and I think the mixing sounds better across the board.
I like what she does on Double Time, but it doesn't sound as natural for her. You know,
I think she doesn't commit to it. Like, she'll do 2 bars a double time, then go back to the super spaced out flow, and that'll be the rest of the verse.
which, as long as you're on beat, if you're hitting the 4, then I'm fine with that, you know. And
I mean, you don't gotta hit a 4.
And I'm gonna
That's what
hear,
pockets are for.
and if I could hear, you know, her legibly, which overall I do, you know, and then that's cool for me. And I guess the other thing I thought I had about the reason I think Trophy Wife still transcendent above La Cena a bit, I just feel like it's a slightly more conceptual album, you know, and also it's just a really to me it's a really dope collection of songs. But yeah, I certainly hear what you're saying about Blimes and Gab sounding a little bit more natural on that beat. And yeah, I like which her flexing around with the styles, and I think and to me, I don't like when people mess around on styles that they're not supernatural on if they're also not giving you what they are good at. But because Trophy Wife has a blend of, like, there's still boom bap on there, there's still some drumless on there, there's also the double time stuff. Like, I'm happy with the mix that we got.
Yeah, she definitely didn't like abandon her skill set and try to go like full pop with it, or like, you know, try to go for like a full trap record or anything. Like, it was definitely like here and there, and that's what I mean. Like, it benefited and suffered from it, because like some of the tracks that like she did modernize towards like more modern sounding boom bap style beats, I think sound really good. But the ones where it's like the West Coast track towards the beginning of the project is really clunky, and then the trap one on Ghostbusters is really clunky. And I feel like she didn't try to adapt for those beats and styles as well as she could have. That's really my point.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap up this segment and head to the next one in a second. I'll just say the last thing.
Shout out Vel the Wonder, though.
That's what I was gonna say is Vel the Wonder, VEL space THE space Wonder. You check her out on Spotify, check her out on Apple Music. She has 4 LPs as well as a whole bunch of singles and collabs, and there's lots of videos out there and stuff too. Vel the Wonder, her 4-album discography spanning from 2014 to now. So it's, you know, 8-year journey, 6-year, I guess, because 2020. Well worth the journey, well worth listening to. So shout out. And she's great live. She's wonderful live. You know?
Yeah, I've enjoyed seeing her live when I have. She's really good on stage.
Okay, so JMKM. Oh yeah, that's him. Video 2, Lucid by Oh Gosh Leotis featuring CJ Wesley, Jake.
Oh Gosh, out here with a double dip on our podcast.
Yes, today. That's how producers be, and they also featuring Nick Klaus Gray.
She just wanna test ride, but niggas on a mission. Yours open different. Y'all don't shine, you flicker. Always with my niggas. We doing fine like summer, but only give you winter, nigga. Lucid, yeah. Lucid, yeah. Lucid.
For those that don't know, this was like the most fun Oh Gosh Leotis slap episode to watch live when they were recording this.
Yeah.
I move like I'm liquid. I do not take intermissions. We arrive for the static to lead the crowd on electric. It's the young digidestined. Sip my tie in my section. Steffi hitting scintilla. All bullshit get deflected. Hold up. Cut up and shut up. Get bread or get baited. We been had to eat for a minute. The seconds is ticking. My nigga shot clock on the second. We start moving different. Swish, no swisher. Sweet, but so much smoke. Can't we go stupid on the high, but live life dumb low key. What? Lucid, yeah. Lucid, yeah. Lucid.
So what was it? I mean, those guys. I mean, the OE crew. You know, that's part of. I mean, so the last video we did was Archer and Oh Gosh, and this is Oh Gosh and Kasai and Wesley and Gray, and yeah, these guys are some of the elite dudes in the IE. They put together really professional and in a good way. I mean, pop sounding music. You know, stuff that sounds like stuff that you'll hear anywhere. Stuff that you'll hear on a soundtrack to something. You know, it's really dope shit.
This shit sounds super professional.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is it? Yeah. So what are the things that made this one stick out to you and made you suggest this one?
Well, once again, like, do you watch any of the slap episodes that Oh Gosh Leotis does on YouTube?
I've never watched a whole one, but I've seen bits.
I tune in like for whole ones every so often. I'm in there just listening, having it on the background, just quietly writing to the stuff that he's making. Because Oh Gosh is, you know, he's oh god, like he's goated, like he's amazing. So this was an incredibly fun episode of Slapisode to watch, and I put this one up because I think it's a great way to show off, you know, Oh Gosh's production, as well as 3 of, as you said, the most elite tier rappers in the IE. And I just personally, and Wesley and Kasai both kill this, but Nicholas washes everyone. Good God, that
bruschetta line makes me hungry and shit. Yeah.
Oh God, and that Young Digi Destined. Woo! bodied. That's just so good.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Kasai's real function on the song is the chorus, right? He has the what he does with the actual chorus because of his particular voice, and which I thought was a cool touch.
Well, his verse
And
at the end is really good too.
yeah, oh no, I really like his verses. And what was he has these guest verses on with this chick Christina Rhea or Tiffany Jack Christina Rhea, and yeah, Kasai's verses on her shit are incredible. I think he's a great like contrast for R&B stuff.
Please send me some of that because I
Oh yeah,
haven't heard of her.
oh yeah, her whole EP is produced by Oh Gosh.
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
send you- I'll send
I'm
you-
unfamiliar.
Oh yeah, I'll send you that.
But yeah,
And,
I've enjoyed a lot of Kasai's stuff in the past. And
yeah, I like all his tapes.
yeah, and same with Wesley. I really like the Mood Room project. Like they're both really solid, and they both give good verses. I just like that flow pocket change up that Nicholas goes into in the second half of his verse. Good golly. Like none of them do anything that exciting except for him on that entire song. I'm not saying that they're not all being exciting, but that part of his verse, it's like, oh,
yeah. Oh, that's how I feel about all of Gray's shit. The first time I actually heard Gray was on Bar Gods 4.
Oh shit.
On Archer's third album. And what is the third?
I lost audio for a second. Sorry.
The third. Okay, no, it goes Cocomania, and then it goes. What's the third? God damn it! I can't think of the name of the third Archer LP, but it has Bar Gods 4 on it, and Nick Klaus does some shit that just is fucking insane. I've just never seen him as human ever since. We're actually low on time, so I'm gonna keep it moving. Let's get the art for A Room Full of Mirrors, Moneybags.
Oh, awesome.
No. Wait, yes. And when was it? So Moneybags is the album. A Room Full of Mirrors.
That's the wrong cover that they have. Oh, there you go.
Okay, cool. So what is it? The album is Moneybags, and the group is A Room Full of Mirrors, and they're a super group, right?
Yeah, it's a super group. It's Ichiban Don, aka the rap name of Willie B, super producer Willie B. Then it's Punch from Top Dog. It's Daylight, the famous battle rapper, and then there's a whole gaggle of other artists on there, including is it Nick Grant? I think it's Nick Grant, and Billy Marie and Lyric Michelle. I really was impressed by this project because this is the first thing that they've put out as this group. Like this was their like debut, like, hello, we're a group, you should listen. And it actually came alongside a 20-minute long short film on YouTube that's like pretty well done as well. And I just was really impressed by this. Like, it's always nice to hear Punch rap. He always kills his verses when he comes in. It's nice to see Daylight do something where he doesn't get like so caught up in trying to flex his lyricism that it like takes up 6 minutes. Like, it's nice to get him in doses and like here and there kind of thing to just like spice it up. I really like this project. Obviously it's like not perfect, but like production's really solid throughout it, and like a couple of the tracks are just bangers.
Right. And I thought it was really well produced, really well wrapped, and really pretty enjoyable. But it did make me think about, some of the discussion stuff we were having about Homegrown Money last week, right? When you were talking about like the sexual nature of some rap. And I was realizing like you could have two rap songs next to each other, right? Or two artists next to each other, and they could both be doing rap that talks about sex a lot, but it's not like sexual rap in the same way, right? So it's like a Cardi B or a Meg Thee Stallion or a Homegrown Money is doing stuff that like sex is the tone, sex is the meat of the subject of some of these songs, right? Whereas A Room Full of Mirrors, I feel like there's a lot of I'm fucking your bitch and I'm getting head and this and that. There's a lot of that, but the songs aren't sex songs. The songs are like, oh, I'm a hustler, or I'm a hard man, or I'm a player. That's part of my persona overall. It's part of what I'm doing, and I just kind of was stuck on that because I'm like, this is the shit that I don't, those moments I don't really like. I've never really liked that shit. Like, but I'm also like a weird squeamish hippie about things, which is why I'm so fortunate that the hip hop community has let me, blog about them. And
I hear what you're saying. Like, I didn't catch too many like "I'm fucking your bitch" kind of bars on the project, but I'm sure they're there. But
It's a lot, especially in those first 2, 3 songs. But I mean, but it's not the whole songs, and it's not the meat of the song. It's not the point of the songs. You know?
Yeah, and I think my concern, like, you know, you mentioned Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Moni as examples of people that are doing stuff where like the song topic is sexuality.
Right.
My issue isn't really so much the topic being sexuality. It's the lazy, like, middle schooler describing porn they watched approach to discussing sexuality. Like, you know,
That's how I feel about when guys do it. Like when
and,
guys
like,
brag about their
my
about it, like that's how it comes off to me. But I
I hear
cool
that
we both see that. You know?
and I hear that, and I also have heard a lot of songs by guys that comes off that same way. But
Yes.
what I'm hearing on A Room Full of Mirrors is like those might be like just throwaway bars and like spacers versus having 4 minutes of just those kinds of bars. Like,
For sure.
like we were talking about the Galaxy earlier, and like, you know, fuckity fucks, like literally every bar on that entire song is just obscene for the sake of being obscene. It's
Okay.
just it's shock rap in a way.
Okay.
Like, I mean, there's
respect. I
yeah.
respect what you're saying. And I mean, as far as Ichiban Don on A Room Full of Mirrors, he's incredible, and his beats are incredible, and the soundscapes are crispy. Like his shit's really crispy, and it's really enjoyable.
Well, Willie B produced it. Ichiban Don was rapping on it.
Okay, right. So Willie B is the producer, and so he's doing double duty on it.
If you hear any of the hooks on there where it's super based out voice, that's Ichiban Don's like natural rapping voice. His voice is awesome.
Did you have any specific way that you linked with him with the work you do with him, or you just hit him up and hired him?
He hit me up trying to sell beats.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I bought some beats. It was that simple.
Good idea.
Yeah, I saw one day I woke up and I had a DM from Ichiban Don, and I was like, yo. And honestly, I like scrape money together to make those purchases just because I wanted to, you know, make that connection and make that good impression on someone who's like, you know, I sent a PayPal payment to a top dog email address.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
oh shit.
Yeah, I made a similar purchase last year that I'll be releasing this year for a similar reason.
Ooh.
And so I feel that.
What, some Soundwave beats or what?
No, it was a collab with somebody I look up to.
Okay.
That kind of, and they approached me about it, so that was cool.
Hell yeah, I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah, and that'll be on the next EP. And so Maestros, let's get our third video. Okay, we've started to make up our overage. And this next one is incredible. Hiatus Coyotes is the band. And the song is Red Room.
Goated.
Yeah, this shit is insane.
Anyway, I got a red room. It is right out. The sunset's in my bedroom. Right out when the sun sets in my bedroom. It feels like I'm inside a flower. It feels like I'm inside my eyelids, and I don't wanna be anywhere but here. I don't wanna be.
Oh my god! So
Napalm is like the definition of a woman who I am in love with strictly for her vocals.
Napalm?
Yeah, Napalm, like napalm, but Napalm.
That's her stage
singer's stage name. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is just—it's so moody and sexy and deep and melancholy. The production's incredible. The melodies are incredible. I was pretty blown away by this. I mean, what is it? You've been familiar with them for a while. You said you listened to the whole album.
Yeah. Like, so Hiatus Coyote's been putting out stuff like here and there for a few years now, but like they're one of those bands that like only drops near perfect albums. Like they
Yeah.
are zero filler kind of band. So you will only get a project from them every like 4 or 5 years.
Oh man.
Their previous project I liked, but I wasn't like in love with it. This one, Mood Valiant, unbelievable. There is like maybe one song I skip when I re-listen, and I'm like 10 listens deep. Like it is a gorgeous record through and through.
Where are they from?
They're from Australia.
Oh, that's sick. Oh, cool. Let me show them my Australian friend. And,
There's some bogans.
and some what?
Some bogans.
What's that?
It's like a pejorative word for Australian people.
Oh,
not like a full slur or anything.
I thought you were
It's
referring
like a
to
term.
like Star Wars Fallen Order. There's like that's like a planet or a species or some shit. Like my nerd ass went to a whole different place. What was it? Let's pivot over to and it's fine if the video keeps playing in the background or whatever. But oh no, let's get our Peacemaker promo art. If we did, I don't know if we got any, and no, it's cool. It's cool. So we finished. We finished watching. Did you finish Peacemaker?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. So I did as well. What did you think? Oh wait, spoiler alert! My friends were mad that I didn't give us a disclaimer last time. We're gonna spoil Peacemaker.
I mean, we didn't spoil any plot points last time.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna. Okay, we're not gonna go out of our way to spoil plot lines. We said. Okay. We got our. Okay. Well, we might spoil it a bit. We'll see. Now we have the freedom to.
I can say spoiler free. I really enjoyed the show.
Okay. Jack is saying we could be spoiler free. All right. And what was it? Well, okay. Now we'll see. We'll do what we want. We'll let the discussion flow where it will.
I don't think we spoiled anything last time. I'm bummed.
It's too late. Our studio guest left. It's okay. But no, we spoiled some shit last time. I rewatched it. No, we did. We didn't spoil like major shit that would mess up your whole experience, but we definitely spoiled specific details. You know?
Did we just? I think we discussed like 2 scenes in detail, but like neither of them are super plot heavy. They're kind of like B plot.
My nerd ass friends had issues with it. So anyway, spoiler alert. I thought that this episode was fantastic. I thought that the cameos that they did were funny. I thought that they wrapped up the show in a pretty cool way. And that still leaves them with options to do more. I'm pretty pleased with it and excited to do it. I know they're giving James Gunn another Suicide Squad character spinoff that we don't know what it is yet.
Oh, I've heard that both Vigilante and what's his face? Is it Idris Elba's character? I've heard that those two are the ones that are getting their own shows.
Vigilante and Idris Elba's character.
Yeah, Bloodsport, I think is his name.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, I think those are the two that we're supposed to be getting shows about.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for both of those for sure.
And then, and you know, we're getting low on time. We're gonna super compress this. Are you gonna? So you said you have plans to see Batman next week, or you're hope to?
Yeah. I'm dropping an EP that morning, so hopefully I can finish up with all the same day promo stuff in time to go catch a showing of the Batman that night. Super excited for that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to try to go see it next weekend as well, and but I'll see how far I have to traverse to get a ticket or a couple tickets. What was it? Well, you know, we'll pivot from there. Let's do our last video, Fire in Little Africa, The Shining or Shining.
Some Tulsa locals.
Yeah.
Off and tape Brady Kitchen. Writing up $1 million mission. About to turn this whole house into a business. They asked me how you did it. I came up off reverse racism. If these walls could talk, they could tell you that's a cold nigga. Paint pictures over rhythms, make your soul shiver. I'm on my 5th summer. My stock rising, my best clients invest in them. It's gonna be a long winter. Cause I'm still winning. The jig is up, the smoke clearing for those that's been pretending. When I walk in the building, give me space like an indention. To put the city in position, that was my intention. We not the same, and I put that on my search history. A little porn mixed with links on how to run the business. You know Steph gon' keep it realistic. And had the profit off non-profits, we poppin', Jimmy, keep on shining. Like a fresh pair of penny loafers with the polish on it, tell them keep on shining. Like a diamond on your pinky when you sippin' Pinot Grigio, tell them keep on shining. Yeah.
So I think that this is such a cool project. I actually listened to the whole album, the Fire in Little Africa record.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So as you explained to me, it is a reimagining of the Tulsa bombings and massacre.
Yeah, especially obvious on that first track. Because if you look into the history of the Tulsa Race Massacre, the inciting moment was in an elevator in Tulsa where a black man and a white woman were sharing the elevator, and the white woman claimed that the black man attempted to pull some, sexual
Yeah.
harassment, sexual assault kind of shit.
Yep.
And for all historical purposes, it's pretty clear that she was lying about
Yeah.
this or exaggerating the situation. But because he was then arrested, there was a lynch mob that showed up at the jail, and that escalated to shots being fired in the crowd, and then things just spiraled from there. So the first song on the project is called Elevator, and it's taking the perspective of
Mm.
the guy who's being accused, and he's instead using that moment to say this girl was like hitting on me and was
Yeah.
mad that I was turning her down.
Yeah.
And I love how they recontextualize that moment with some of like the braggadocio of the modern era, and I think it's brilliant. And in case you didn't realize, Fire in Little Africa is a super group with about 40
Yes.
members.
Yes, I could tell.
There's a million people in it, and
Yeah.
funny enough,
There was people from like early 90s Dog Pound shit on there. It had Nancy Fletcher and Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band.
Yeah.
Nancy Fletcher is the chick who would sing dope ass pretty background vocals on Snoop Doggy Dogg's Doggy Style in 1993.
Yeah.
And she's singing on that shit. So yeah, it's a nuts ass super group.
Yeah, and like it's such a well-produced project. It's such a well thought out project. I really love what they did with it, and I actually found out about it in a really kind of hilarious way. Tulsa is home to the Woody Guthrie Museum,
Oh yeah.
and in the Woody Guthrie Museum, there's actually a big double display case of Fire in Little Africa merch.
Wow.
Showcasing them as like a group that kind of carries some of the same nonviolent anti-war sentiment. And this particular song, The Shining, was playing on loop, like the full video with the femc towards the end that's killing it. Like that was just playing on loop. And that's like the only audio you can hear when you're walking in the main hall of the Woody Guthrie Museum.
That's crazy.
It's amazing. And like
Yeah.
I that's how I came up on it. And I'm still new to Tulsa, but I'm glad to have found such an incredible project so quick after moving here. And in case you didn't realize, it was actually dropped on the 100th anniversary of the start of the Tulsa Race Massacre.
Oh my God.
To the day. Like they dropped it on the exact 100th anniversary.
And the Guthrie Museum's in Tulsa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Downtown
awesome.
Tulsa. It's in the General Greenwood area.
So we got to wrap up, but I think what we're going to make sure to do, I think next time I'm going to streamline and rearrange things a bit more so that you and I could actually talk a little politics next week or next time we meet.
Yeah,
And,
I would love that.
Yeah, because me and you go deep there, and I feel like we're starting to scratch that with this stuff because we could go places. But we're wrapping up. We tried a little bit of a new format today, and I think we'll tweak it a little bit more next time. This has been Tapped In with Tanjint, brought to you by Untapped Hip Hop and Productive Culture.
Yeah.
This is the Jack Maybe, aka The Thought. I am Tanjint Wiggy from West Coast Avengers crew. What was it? Thank you all so much. Thank you to all the artists who were, kind enough to interact with the last episode. We got a lot of cool feedback from people who are checking it out and appreciated our more in-depth than you. That's what I wanted. I wanted to give, not just, oh, we checked out your album, it's cool. Or we checked out your album, now come sit and talk to us for 5 minutes about how vibes is life and life is vibes. Like, no hate on people who do that on podcasts. But what was it? So I wanted to do something different, and if we do ever incorporate an interview element, I don't want to lose the in-depth element, so I'm proud of what we're trying to do here, and I appreciate you doing it with me, Jack.
Oh, of course, man. I'm completely honored to be here, and I love I love the idea for this podcast, and I'm glad to be a part of it so far. And shout out JM Cam and Productive Culture and Untapped Hip Hop for helping put this together. That little promo video they made is really cool.
Yeah, I like it too.
They the one shot they have from me entering that tent, they like it's blown out to where you can't see my nose. I came in that tent looking like Voldemort. That had me laughing at first.
This has been Tapped In with Tanjint featuring The Thought. Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.